Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have two questions for you today. Two questions. First question. Have you ever heard the term misdiagnosis? Misdiagnosis. Second question. Have you ever gone to bed later in the evening when it's already dark, or you wake up early in the morning when it is still dark outside, long after the sunset or before the sun rises? If you have done either of those, or perhaps both, in the dark, do you worry that the sun might not rise that day? Perhaps it's cloudy. It might be a cloudy day, but typically you might say, not, you might actually believe or trust that the sun's still going to rise that day, right? Even though you do not have the evidence when you are in the dark that the sun's going to rise that the next day or later that day accordingly. And you and I have been sharing this week about ways of beingness, your ways of beingness, on that will allow you to welcome and receive what it is that you would love in your life, that what it is that you would love to do or have in your life with a lot more ease and a lot more fun and a lot more flow, perhaps even as surprise gift in life. And one of the tools that you would love to be able to master and do and be is actually to embrace that the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Now, back to the sun. Why do you think trust that you have the belief that the sun going to rise even though it's all dark outside? Perhaps because you have the awareness, as long as you can remember in your whole life, whatever many years, the sun rises every day. You might not be able to see it because it's cloudy, because of where you live, what have you, but the suns keep going. The so-called the sunrise every day. And because you've been taught, as long as you can remember that, you know what? It's gonna get dark, but it's gonna get light again, right? And so that is you have in your awareness, because you have that. Now, a lot of time, things actually are not in our awareness, but we are not even aware that it is not in our awareness. And back to the first question about misdiagnosis. Do you know what happens when there is a misdiagnosis? And it could look like a lot of different things, but the bottom line of every misdiagnosis, excuse me, is lack of awareness or tools to be able to find evidence. The bottom line of it is the lack of awareness of tools to be able to find evidence for somebody that who is ill. And a case come to mind in this particular example, that an example come to my mind when I was thinking about this topic. There was one time a while back, some of you know that my background is in veterinary oncology. So I'm a board certified veterinarian medical oncologist. And a case come to mind long ago. This dog been experiencing all these different symptoms for months. And they've been working on it, and they're working, and then they run this test and then that test and then that test. And the primary care could not find any diagnosis. They tried this and that. And the poor patients just keep getting more and more and more problem, to the point, at some point, she seems to have randomly just broke multiple bones on the toes, multiple feet, multiple bones on the toe. And when that happened, the primary look at it and said, I don't know. Must have been multiple misdiagnosis. Initially, they thought this, that, and then they did that. So it's multiple misdiagnosis. The parents completely frustrated. They're like, this gotta be cancer that we just could not find. send it to the oncologist, see what she could do. Now, the oncologist, me, have very extensive training and experience. Patient come in on a stretcher. I look at it. I say, looking at everything, it's going to be, now I have the benefit of things already been done, but also looking at the picture in general, just look at the patient, look at the presentation. So I said, it is one of these three things. Why? Because I have level of education, so training and so forth, therefore awareness beyond primary care practitioner. So I look at it and it's like one of these three things, most likely. We're going to just take a deep breath and do the test. And at my level of practice, I have access to tests that primary care cannot access easily. So I immediately ran this molecular level test. And in less than 3 days, we got the diagnosis. In the patient that coming on a stretcher, in less than 2 weeks, she was walking comfortably. And in 3 weeks, she was running like a happy dog supposed to be running. And that patient lived for a good long while and happily playing, running like a dog supposed to be. And so what is that? It was the presence of the presence of awareness and tools to be able to see the evidence that has already been there all along. It wasn't the cancer just appear the day they make the appointment with me. The cancer has appeared long beforehand. The patient has symptoms for 6 to 8 months. Cancer has been present even though there was no evidence of it, or there was no evidence that anybody could find yet. The cancer has been present for much longer than that, probably close to a year in this particular case. And at the same time, the level of awareness does not allow us to see. When we don't have the level of awareness to see what we need to see, it might look like an absence of something. At the beginning, in that particular case, in that record, many times there was written, test says this, no cancer. Test says that, no cancer, no cancer, no cancer. And so the opposite worked the same way. Now, you and I are not inviting anything in terms of ailment into our life. We're inviting what it is that you would love in your life. And at the same time, what it is that you would love in your life, you might look at it and you say, there is no evidence that this is going to happen. And the thing with the society, our society and our way of thinking and being adult nowadays, we actually train to do the opposite, isn't it? Instead of saying the absence of evidence, not evidence of absence, we are trained to say, oh, this is what we can see right in front of my eyes with my level of awareness. Therefore, this is what I'm going to believe. Versus what if there is multiple layers behind that you could not see? So that is one of the things. You are trained to say, this is what I can see. I can see lack. Therefore, I'm going to believe in lack. I can see that this is not here. Therefore, I'm going to believe it's not going to happen with me. Now, the other thing that you and I have been trained oftentimes in this society is to be impatient. So many times you've seen if you're in personal development, you hear this, you say, okay, yeah, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. All right. So what I would love is still is here. I just got to do it. I just got to do it. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. You take action. Couple weeks passes by, maybe even couple months. You're like, you know what? Couple weeks has passed. Couple months have passed. It's still not here. It is not here. I've done this. It's not here. Well, what if it takes more than a couple weeks or even a couple months to raise your awareness, to raise your vibrations, to where is it that it need to be. Yesterday we shared about vibrations and day before. And so what it is that, what if it is takes more than that? For me, I have been an oncologist for 18 years. And so what if it takes more than just a couple months to raise your vibrations to be able such that to where your awareness and vibration and energy being able to open up, so to say, the veil to where the invisible veil to where this what it is that you have been wanting is actually right there. Have you ever heard the expressions out of the blue? Things happen out of the blue. Out of the blue, you got this thing. Out of the blue, this just happened. Out of the blue, my example this past weekend was out of the blue. I've been welcoming this. Out of the blue, it just appeared in the mail. Hello, how about that? And where is the blue? How about if the blue is right here, is right where you are, but perhaps it is you and your awareness has not matched the blue. And so my tip today for you, that is also my peace of mind tip for you today, is to actually when you welcoming something in your life, to embrace that the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Stay strong, stay firm to what it is that you truly, truly love, and have a little bit of patience. And when you are able to do that, alongside with the other that we have discussed, to see how this can be for the greater good of all, to be able to believe that there is unlimited resource, as the Upanishads say it, as we discussed the other day, as to actually for you to praise, to express and praise what it is that you would love and what you already have, as well as to be able to let go. So you're no longer gripping and allow actually more ease. When you're able to do all those, that you have even more ease, more peace of mind, and things will happen and flow easier in your life, allowing you to achieve more success in such easy and fun and simple way. And when you are able to do that, you'll be able to create a magnificent, wonderful, thriving life, moment to moment, day to day, and creating a beautiful, wonderful, magnificent, thriving life with surprise gift happening in your life with such ease and such fun and such joy. And this is Bridget with From Grieving to Joyful Living. I see that as you step into this, as you embrace that being patient and embracing that the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, as well as all the practice that you and I've been sharing, that you are living an even more beautiful life. And please share in the comment below if you ever have such an experience of noticing that someday you just change your awareness and thing happen. Or perhaps you ever have something that happened out of the blue, the way you just would so much love it. And how did you feel and what happened? If there is something that you are welcoming in your life, and if you would love some support, feel welcome to reach out to me directly, as well as feel welcome to share your feedback in the comment below, or to share this video if you'd love to. And I love you very, very much. I see that you have a wonderful, beautiful, thriving life, and I look forward to see you again very, very soon.